Hi, everyone. It's 2022 and the pandemic continues. However, I have some tips for you for living in spite of COVID. Working with many people, I have noticed that COVID has been a main concern for just about everyone. It brings up a lot of emotions and feelings: anxiety, stress, worry, fear, defeat, loneliness, overwhelm, helplessness, frustration, guilt, and anger, and so much more. I have particularly noticed that stress, anxiety, and worry are among the top three. Stress comes from a place of uncertainty about something or someone that we truly care about. Anxiety, on the other hand, moves stress to a different level, where we can easily become fixated on uncertainty, leading us to become lost in our thoughts and ruminate on feelings that may not be serving us. We can easily spiral downhill into complete fear and even negativity. Uncertainty? Well, uncertainty is inevitable even in the best of times. We can, however, learn to live in uncertainty, reducing our mental and emotional suffering. Worry, I have found, can come in two forms. One I like to call what if worry. And what if worry triggers our minds to search our environment for things that we fear. Our minds find them, and that worry becomes reinforced. Proactive worry, on the other hand, occurs when we recognize what is in our control and allows us to act accordingly and make decisions that we are comfortable making. What is in our control and what isn't? We can't control other people, their thoughts, values, beliefs, or decisions. We can't control the weather, traffic, news, and in this case, COVID. What is in our control? How we approach building resilience and trusting in our own thoughts, beliefs, values, and decisions. We can control how we cultivate connections with others and how we seek and offer support to each other at this time. Remember that there's no shame in seeking support. With that in mind, we can recognize that others will have their thoughts, beliefs, values, opinions, and decisions, yet we can choose to respect each other without judgment. So, some tips on thoughts and feelings. We can challenge our thoughts by paying attention to our self-talk, that inner dialogue that we have chattering in our minds all of the time. By understanding that just because we think or feel something doesn't always mean that it's true. Our emotions are not always reliable. It's how we interpret them. So we can ask ourselves, how true is that thought? Are my thoughts fact or opinion? Are the thoughts that I'm having serving me and others? Are they inspiring? Are they necessary? These questions can be difficult to face, but will help tremendously. As we do this, it becomes easier to discount the thoughts and feelings that are dominating our brains so that we can focus on the options that are available to us, allowing us to offer more kindness toward ourselves and others. So, some tips to help us get through this time, to find fulfillment and add some value to your life in ways that are enjoyable. One, is to observe our news and social media consumption and think about what information we are allowing to enter our minds and how often we are letting that happen. We can choose to do a complete digital detox, or we can choose to balance negative information that is constantly bombarding us with some uplifting news. We can ask ourselves, what are we learning from this pandemic? I actually have been keeping a COVID gratitude journal and am surprised at some of the beauty that has walked through my life because of the pandemic. Another idea is to keep a scrapbook or start a scrapbook of your favorite quotes that inspire you and uplift you. You can create a dream journal or just journal in general. Write some short stories or poems. Can allow this to be a time to learn something new that has always interested you. For example, take an online course or a drawing class. Learn calligraphy. Take up an instrument you've always wanted to try and wished you could play. Learn a new language. Try a new craft. There are so many free or inexpensive online courses. Explore and go for it. Perhaps you might want to find new recipes and create your own cookbook of your favorites. You can create a list of movies, documentaries, books, or podcasts that you've always wanted to listen to. Experience them and write down what they meant for you. There's also a new form of Netflix called Party Extension. Check it out. Play games and get silly. Remember going back to childhood play, that uninhibited play, and let your imagination run wild. See what happens. Do some puzzles. Find meaningful conversation topics. These can be found online, and there are also conversational games for families, friends, couples, etc. through Amazon. This activity can be done together or virtually. Join an online book club. Socially connect to others by catching up with someone from your past, or find a virtual meetup group to meet new people. Or, if you want to be adventurous, go vintage and find a pen pal. Explore new music and make new playlists of the songs that resonate with you. Reorganize or redecorate your space so that that environment embraces you like a big hug. Explore personal self-care. Do what relaxes you and inspires you. This is one of my personal favorites, and this is a good time of the year to do this. It's how I've done it. Invite a few people into a group to create gratitude jars. And every day, put a slip of paper into the jar about something that you were grateful for that day and why. Do this for a year, or you can shorten it to 3 months, 6 months, whatever works for you and your group. And you can gather together again, virtually, where each person pulls a slip of paper out and talks about what they were grateful for and why. This has been a New Year's tradition for me for a while, and I have found it very meaningful. Do your best to adopt a thought framework of I get to. It will allow you to stop thinking about things so deep, so heavily, and allows you to just take action. When will I start? What's going to get in my way? As you try new things, reflect. Follow your pathway. Be courageous. Remember that you are resilient. For uplifting news sources and an exercise on resilient, please click on the link below, and I hope that you enjoy. Look forward to your comments.